and gentlemen, we vegetarians like to have quotations from famous vegetarians of the past and present. Tonight, I will interview some noted personalities, and we will learn what they might have said if they had been vegetarians. President Theodore Roosevelt, what do you say about all the propaganda for meat eating?
Ha! The meat pushers get together to fool people that beef builds strength. The dairy gang boasts about cheese to the rescue. Ha! Then you have to call 911 to rescue you from this cheesy stuff. Ha! Their claims are 4% fat, 96% fatuous. Behold the power of propaganda. All this conniving is like a conspiracy or trust. But we don't trust this trust, and I say it's time to bust the trust. Bully!
President Calvin Coolidge, do you have anything to say about vegetarianism?
Nope.
Vice President Al Gore, do you have anything to say about vegetarianism?
Nope.
Mr. Herbert Hoover, may we have your views on the matter?
When I ran for office, I promised a chicken in every pot. Then we had the Great Depression, and a lot of people didn't even have a pot. But since going vegetarian, I say there ought to be no chicken in any pot.
President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, what do you think of exploiting animals for food?
2/3 of our animals are ill-fed, ill-housed, and ill-treated. And it makes me ill just to think of it. In becoming vegetarians, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Now, every vegetarian meal is a vote against fear and want, but every hamburger is a sneak attack on the animal world that will live in infamy.
Mr. Prime Minister, what do you think about factory farming?
Never in the history of animal slavery have so many exploited so many, or so little gain, consisting mainly of blood, sweat, and tears. Together, we will toil non-violently to end this monstrous evil. We will fight it in the barnyards. We will fight it in Parliament. We will fight it in the papers. We shall never surrender.
Mahatma Gandhi, what can you do about the injustice of meat eating?
I will fast, and I shall not take food again until all the slaughter is stopped.
Bapu, they won't stop.
If I die, perhaps they will stop.
Adolf Hitler, Ranberry says you're no vegetarian. What do you think?
Was ist das?
Sind Sie Vegetarier?
Ach ja, ich bin ein gut Großvegetarier. Ich bin ein Nachwurst und Bratwurst und Wienerschnitzel Vegetarier. Ja, ich bin ein Heißhund und koscher Schweinfleisch Vegetarier. Ja, ich bin ein Großersatz Vegetarier. Heil mich.
General George Patton, what has vegetarianism done for you?
Before I went vegetarian, I used to have a little problem. Now, with my tank command, I was known as the fast mover, and it wouldn't help my image none to say I was constipated. Let's just say I wasn't one of the regular army. But this high-fiber veggie diet goes right through me like pap through a goose. You know, you don't become a hero by dying for your country. You get to be a hero by making some other poor slob die for his country. Oh, now I've sent quite a few Nazi Superman heroes to Valhalla. Oh, God, how I loved war. But now, as a vegetarian, I've become a complete pacifist, just brimming over with love and kindness, and I'll shoot the first lying, meat-eating stinker that says otherwise.
General Douglas MacArthur, what was your reaction to seeing the slaughterhouses?
My commander-in-chief, Mr. Roosevelt, ordered me out of the field to inspect how the meat was being prepared to feed our gallant troops in the field. I personally inspected 9 big abattoirs, with one place just making kielbasa. And I never saw such scenes of carnage and horror as an old soldier. I came through hell. And in the fullness of time, with the aid of Providence, I shall regurgitate.
President George Bush I. You must have had a couple of thousand dinners in the White House. Were they ever vegetarian?
When I said I believed in a kinder, gentle America, but the V word I had in mind was votes, not vegetarian. Now, there may be some silly rumors that I attended all those dinners, and I may have made some disparaging remarks about broccoli. But I don't recall that the subject of food ever arose.
J. Paul Getty, you were the wealthiest man in the world. Did you ever try going vegetarian?
Yes. I went to a vegan convention once, but Chef Ron's food was too rich for me.
Citizen Bob Dole, are you addicted to meat?
Now, Bob Dole boils it down to values and integrity and getting a coherent message out about how brilliant were the slithy toes and Thringlegab is Framistan in Russell, Kansas. But Bob Dole doesn't think meat is addictive. Bob Dole stops eating meat 3 times a day. Why, some people think even milk is bad for you, and they're all against Bob Dole. And then there was the matter of the strawberries. Oh, and marbles in the overhead of Bob Dole's cabin, not to mention the rat hole. And we'll have to get Congress to look into that.
President Bill Clinton, do you ever eat meat?
Now, that's the kind of question I really like to answer because it gets to the issue of integrity. And I have a 900-page position paper on that, but I'll make it brief. I did try it just once, over in England. I chewed on it a bit, but I never swallowed.
Thank you, Mr. President. We didn't swallow that either. President Harry S. Truman, what do you think of the way we treat food animals?
After the war, General Marshall came up with a plan to help get Europe back on its feet. And the European Recovery Plan was a great success. Now it's time for a new program, the Humane Animal Recovery Effort, HARE for short. This will persuade Americans to eat only rabbit food. Throughout history, the animals have suffered for our food. They can't stand the heat, and it's time we got them out of the kitchen. I even keep this sign on my desk. The beef stops here.